This week on the Austin Healey channel, the transmission tunnel gets finished, and so does the seat bases. To put the side screen on, in the door there's this special little socket thing. And this little socket thing goes down into pieces of wood that are screwed in from the side to hold them in place. And I thought, okay, great. I just drill a hole and, tap it out and screw it in. I found out it's 16 threads per inch, but it's not a standard size. I've been through metric, British, and UNF, and it's just not a standard size. So what they're saying to do is just drill a hole that's slightly smaller, and then put it in and let this thing cut the threads itself. This is oak. That's going to be difficult, but we're going to give it a try. This is reason 48 why I love owning a welder. You can make your own tools. What the hell is it? Well, it's a special tool for putting these in. You could try and put a big fat screwdriver in there, but it might slip out. This is built off of I think it's a number 8 bolt, maybe number 10, I don't know. Metric bolt. It slides right into the hole. This fits right into the groove there. And then you can very easily screw this down into the hard oak just with a ratchet. It works incredibly well. It doesn't feel like you're going to scratch the paint up every freaking time. Happy with that. Highly recommend it. This is going to go in my toolbox. Maybe I'll paint it, or maybe I'll plate it. That would be cool. This piece covers up the big hole. Imagine the transmission goes right here. This is going to get covered with carpet. The silvery stuff doesn't show. I've seen, even in the parts catalogs and stuff, often there's a rubber piece that goes in here and it's riveted on. I'm thinking that's a BN2 though. Anyway, I'm not exactly sure when in production that started happening, but this one has no holes for it, no rivet holes where that would be attached. So I'm not going to put it on, and I'd have to make one too. My plan was to make one out of a wheelbarrow inner tube, because they're not very big, so it kind of has that right shape. You just cut off a flat piece and pop it on there, but because this doesn't have the holes, I'm not going to do that. It's something you can go back and put on later, but if I'm feeling a lot of heat coming through there. But with this insulation, it should be fine. Till my feet get hot. So I've glued this in place. Next step is to put some glue down and attach this carpet. It gets wrapped around this edge and all around here. Looks pretty and stuff. This top gets a special rubber piece to seal it up. Yeah, you saw that right. It's a piece of cardboard. I had been using brushes, about €1 a pop, but they harden up. You can, put them in thinner and stuff and it keeps them better, but they harden up eventually. I'm sure you've seen these stupid DIY hacks on Facebook or whatever. For once, I actually saw something useful. They were using a piece of cardboard to spread contact cement. I went, that's cheaper than a brush. So I gave it a try. It works pretty good. If you ever had to take one of these covers off and then put it back on again, it's nearly impossible to find exactly where the screw holes go. And you don't want to make new screw holes every time you take it off and on. So what I'm going to do, find the screw hole with an awl, and then I'm going to mark it with some paint. It's going to be on the carpet, yeah, but that's going to be covered up by the plate, and it'll show where there'll be a little white dot each place where there's a screw hole, so you can find it again when you go to screw this thing back on. Much easier than poking around blindly. These draft extruders are a little bit long. I guess you could leave them there if you want, but I'm not going to. I'm going to cut them off. I'm going to start a little bit longer. I'm not exactly sure where they will end up. There's a rubber piece that goes through here. I don't know where on that it's going to go, so I'm just going to leave it long for the moment. The way this works, this is on the kick panel, and then it's split here, and then it goes from the outside, the inside over to the outside, and you loosen up the post and slide that in. You have to cut around the bolts and then tighten it down, and it's held in place. This looks like the original cover for the transmission tunnel. I tried to clean it up, that's why it's wet. It didn't clean up very well though. So I'm gonna take it off. Yeah, this would be the original color. You can see how it was darted on the sides. This is a good example of the brown that people talk about a lot. It's a very dark brown. It's used really anywhere that just gets covered up. I guess it was just a really cheap paint. I'm gonna sandblast this and paint it. I'm using this insulation stuff in place of what would normally be jute, or originally be jute. I've got this vinyl strip on. There's another one that goes through here. Then the carpet will go on. All that gets covered up. This back edge, there's some of it that sticks out. So the vinyl wraps around it to cover it up. And this all gets glued in place. This is different than the later models where it just kind of snaps in place. Personally, I'm enjoying this one better because you put it on and when you glue stuff, you put it in place and it stays there. It'll contour to the curves and glue down. It won't, you put a snap here and it's kind of the right shape. It'll be the right shape and it'll be solid and not shift around on you. So, okay, I'm enjoying this more than season one, I'll say that. I've read some of the forums of people trying to upholster these themselves, and nobody enjoys it. It seems like they always say, take it to a professional, let them wrestle it, which is kind of funny. But yeah, gluing it in place is certainly easier than the snaps, and certainly less like wrestling a bear. glue this in place, I first want to make sure that I get it lined up right. I make sure that the edge of the carpet part is even on both sides and on the front and the back. And I'm going to put a clamp on it. Then I peel this part back, glue down one side, then do the other side, and that will keep everything from shifting around, and it will make sure that everything goes in place. Once that's done, then I'm going to glue this and wrap it around. Same for the bottom. The bottom won't wrap around, it just goes to the edge. One other thing, I want to get glue close to here, but not all the way, and I certainly don't want to go over. So I'm just going to make a faint pencil line around here, then I know where to stay away from. And this pencil line can be removed later. But that gives us an idea of where the glue goes and where it shouldn't. Because of this angle here, when you put a piece of cloth or vinyl across here, it's going to take a funny shape as we stretch it around to the back. So I've decided I'm going to make a pattern for it before I try to cut it out of vinyl, so I know better what we're dealing with. So to do this, we're just going to take a piece of paper. There, just with the folds I've made on the paper, you can start to see where it's going to be. Now, I don't want to cut right on those folds because I'm not going to need space on the sides. So we're going to drop down about an inch. There. That's basically what we need. Now that's it's going to help me manage the vinyl better. Instead of cutting a big old piece and kind of stick it in place and then trimming it down, this is going to allow us to have a smaller piece to work with. Yes, that'll be nice. Finish it off really well. We need more glue. Our mustard bottle. What I really like about this is that the contact adhesive doesn't stick really well to it, so you can clean off the lid every once in a while. Oh yeah. Very satisfying. If you want to come along on the ride as we complete this project, click the subscribe button. If you want YouTube to tell you every time there's a new video, click the alarm bell. Thanks for watching, and your support is very much appreciated.